I'm just trying to be me, proving what I got to prove. Some people think that Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, we are definitely keeping it moving, and this is now episode 3. Can you believe it? Episode 3 of how to ensure that you're maximizing your dollars when it comes to your salary, wages, or even whatever fees that you're receiving for the products and services that you're rendering. So, if you're ready, like how I am, take a few moments to listen to me as we talk about how to make sure that the best revenge is your paper. Let's get into it. I'm DC Howard. If you want to know more about me as well as this company, click on the link above to be able to get more information. Also, as I mentioned, this is actually episode 3 in this phenomenal series about how to make sure you're maximizing your salary, wages, and fees when it comes to negotiations. And so if you want to be able to check out episode 1, you can do that right here. In episode 1, where we were able to talk about how to ensure that you know yourself as well as also know your worth. And then on last week, we talked about a really good trio of topics, which is episode 2, which is right here. Yep. Episode 2 is where we talked about how to make sure that you are getting the money, you're getting the power, as well as also that you are getting the respect, which can be also the title. And so on this week, we're going to talk about our, if you will, third, if you will, component of how to ensure that the best revenge is your paper. And simply put, as I kind of teased it in the intro, is making sure that you, yes, you, are sitting on top of the world. And so I'm going to have 2 principles about how to ensure that you are sitting on top of the world when it comes to being able to have that salary, those wages, those fees that you desire for the products and services that you're rendering. And so point number 1 on how to ensure that you are sitting on top of the world when it comes to your ability to negotiate is that patience makes paper. Once again, point number 1 when it comes to how do you make sure that you're sitting on top of the world is that patience makes paper. What do I mean by that? Is a lot of times when it comes down to this particular negotiations, it's all about who will blink first, who will succumb under the pressure. And you want to make sure that you're not the one that blinks first or that succumbs to the pressure. And so how do you ensure that you're able to make sure that you have that patience is being able to understand what, if you will, is your, if you will, high point, what is your low point, and then what is your target. So once again, when it comes down to figuring out how to have that patience is what is your high point when it comes to your salary, wages, and or fees that you're looking for? What is your low point of salary, wages, and fees that you're looking for? And then what is your target? So a perfect example is, let's say that you are going after a salary job and you ultimately are wanting to get $50,000 from that salary. And so what you want to be able to do is you're going to start out by having your high point being somewhere around $60,000 to possibly $70,000. Your low point being, once again, if you will, right around maybe $45,000 to $47,000. And once again, your target being $50,000. And so in that conversation where you may be having an interview, whether it be face-to-face or virtually, as is the situation of the pandemic, and your, if you will, hiring manager or the person on the interview saying, so what is the possible salary that you're looking to be able to have? And then you're able to say comfortably and confidently, I believe that my qualifications as well as my experiences are able to warrant a salary of $60,000. And you say it simply, boldly, but comfortably, and you allow them to therefore have to now negotiate within their own company's head on, is that possibly too much for them to offer? Or if it is within reason, now you're going to get a salary that's going to be even more above what your original target was. And so that's why we want to make sure that you know that patience makes paper. Patience will always make the paper in that scenario. When it comes down to fees or a particular amount that you're looking for the products or services that you're rendering, going back to episode 1, where we talked about fair market value, that when someone reaches out to you, let's say you're a graphic designer and you're looking to get a new client, that you're saying, okay, in order to be able to do this job, I require, let's say, for instance, $125 for 2 designs. And you simply put, you make that known, you make that very much so aware to your client, And then ultimately, it's on them to be able to say, yes, you are indeed worth that particular amount, or no, I'm going to be able to go elsewhere. And I know that can be possibly very difficult when it comes to being able to maximize your salary, your profits, your fees. But you have to be able to understand that with that patience, you therefore will make that paper. And then, if you will, point number 2 of how to make sure that you're sitting on top of the world is we're going to use that same principle, and we kind of already tapped into it, is that not only does patience make paper, but patience makes power. Yes, patience makes power. And so in that same example, using the graphic design, is the fact of the matter that you now hold the power on whether or not you're going to get paid that amount, because ultimately you've stayed firm in what it is that you desire for your services and products. When it comes down to that salary example, you stayed firm on what it is that you actually believe your qualifications, your experiences, your talent is worth. And ultimately, that is what you need to be able to walk into in any interview and any negotiation, is the fact of the matter that when you're able to boldly declare what it is that you want out of that when it comes to your salary, wages, or fees, is now the ball is in your court when it comes to the power that you have on whether or not you'll be able to actually get that job, get that particular salary increase, be able to get that client, get that business that you're desiring. So once again, to summarize all this is, how do you ensure that you're sitting on top of the world when it comes to your salary, when it comes to your wages, when it comes to the fees that you're going to get, when it comes to your products and services that you're rendering, is number 1, patience makes paper. Your patience and being able to let people know what your services are worth, what your talent is worth, is going to make sure that you get that, ultimately that top dollar, but if not the top dollar, that, if you will, target dollar that you're trying to get. And then point number 2 is that patience makes power, is that now you're the one that's sitting in the power seat. You're the one that actually is, if you will, in the driver's seat on the amount of money that you're going to make, because you've now put it in their hands to be able to determine whether or not what you have put out there is worth their time and worth their energy. Next week, be able to tune in as we're going to talk about what happens if negotiations fail, because there are times where you may not be able to get the negotiation to work the way that you desire, and we're going to make sure that you're covered for that. And so I hope that this particular episode and this series thus far has been of great help and benefit to you. And I want you to stay tuned so you'll be able to get more help on how to ensure that you are able to have the best revenge, which is your paper. Thank you so very much for watching our video. We know that time is the most valuable, non-renewable resource, so we truly appreciate that you've taken that time with us here on today. Here's some quick ways that you can be able to support our channel and support us even more. And here's another way that you can be able to be connected with me. Join our Wayoneers Network. Yes, you can do that by going to our website, www.wayoneers.com, where you'll get exclusive access and exclusive content with me, DC Howard, your care coach, and where we're going to also be able to provide that to you for a great low monthly fee, which you should see right now, as well as also you can be able to join for a great low annual fee, which you can see right now. How do you do that? Once again, go to our website, www.wayoneers.com.